My name is Ben Alexander and I have autism. And today I'm going to talk to you about what services should an autistic child receive in school. And I will share my experience and what has helped me get through school. I am thankful to have a school district like Marysville Exempted Village School District in Marysville, Ohio. That's the school district I grew up with, and I went through basically all my education. There was a Harold Lewis place. It was an autistic preschool, so I did that for a little bit, but then I transitioned into another autistic preschool within the Marysville School District. And I think that's very important if you have a child that's autistic, is to make sure that they have a preschool that basically helps their autism and helps them to, and really it's a good fit for the child. You definitely want to make sure that the teachers and the staff will be able to accommodate so that your child can learn the best in a positive, supportive environment. And yeah, first is just get into an autistic preschool. Secondly, I'd say find a school district that specializes in autism or just an autism school in general. And I know each situation, each kid is different, so I believe that finding the best services for your kid is number one, and it should be your biggest priority, is to find services that match your kids. And a lot of it has to do with the school district you're in. And maybe you could, like if the public school district, it doesn't do well with autism, maybe you could consider homeschooling. But again, I was a public school person. I never homeschooled, but maybe you could consider homeschooling. And I don't know. I mean, there's probably a bunch of options on the internet that you could research as well. But I'm just thinking that going through an autistic preschool, and I was fortunate enough to live in a school district that has specialized in autism and all that stuff, and they helped me learn. And I would say the second thing is a speech therapy class. You know, there's a lot of people that probably have never said that I would be able to speak full sentences. I'm sure that those people existed. There were people that doubted I even went to college, that I could make through college. But yes, I graduated within 4 years, got a cum laude, and I am moving along in my life. And it's very, very exciting to see what has happened in my life since, I got great support from the school district. I felt like the schoolwork wasn't overwhelming going to school, and it was nice. Like, some kids get overwhelmed by the work. I never did. So my school district and my teachers did such a great job of making the work very manageable for me, and I was never really stressed all that much about the schoolwork. And I'm very fortunate and thankful for that. I'd say the third service that you need is an IEP, which that stands for an individual education plan. That gives a chance for you as the parents to meet with your child's teachers, and the child's teachers will basically give an analysis of how the child's doing, where the child can work at, things like that. And, those always helped me. It helped my parents too, because they were involved in my education very much, and they knew exactly what was going on all the time. And my teachers would contact my parents. They knew exactly what was going on in my education, and luckily that wasn't the problem. I mean, obviously I pushed myself to do great in school, and I wanted to become great, and I wanted to get the grades, and I wanted to do the work. I think the biggest goal that I had in school was I just want to do the work. I just want to complete the work, the best of my abilities, because that's all anybody can ask for. If teacher gets mad at me for missing a question, even though I literally have tried everything I can. You know, I've studied, I did all the right things. It's just sometimes you don't know. And sometimes there are subjects that are harder than others, like science. I hated science. But I did enjoy history and business in high school. Those classes were pretty easy for me. But I was not a science person whatsoever. Science was definitely a struggle bus for me. And yeah, like I said, I think an IEP definitely helps basically kind of, you know, and helps you as a child understand what the child needs to work on to, you know, pass the classes and become more of a well-rounded, smarter person. Yeah, I think that's important too. And then if it is available, you know I had special education aides that they had students assigned to them to take care of. So because I was autistic, you know, I was under the aid of a teacher. You know, whenever I needed help, I would go to them to be like, hey, I don't understand this concept. Like, I don't understand. Can you explain it in a different way? You know, I'm so confused. And I had to do that quite a bit for science. So there's definitely no shame about asking teachers questions. And I know my pride's like, I don't want to ask a teacher a question. You know, I don't want them to think I'm stupid, or I don't want them to get mad at me. But for the most part, the teachers would, if you have a good teacher, they would rather have you ask a question than to not ask a question and then fail a test. You know what I mean? Like, a good teacher is going to want to help you learn. And yeah, like I said, that is probably maybe one of my biggest regrets when I come back to school, is like, I should have asked for more help. And I know I don't like asking for help for anything, and it's hard for me. It really is difficult to ask for help, but you know, at the end of the day, I think I could have done better at school. But again, you know, it's not the end of the world either, because I got A's and B's and I got a couple C's. But I never got anything lower than a C, so that's a relief, because I knew, you know, if you get a D or an F, like, you either really have to not know the subject, or you just didn't do the work, or you had a bad teacher. That could be true too. Yeah, I mean, that's just a thing. And then, and I would say the IEP goes through high school and all that stuff, and I'd say you could even translate it into college, like, if your child decides to go to college. But if your child decides not to go to college, then it's like, okay, you know, they're going to go on an alternative path of life, that's fine too. But if the child decides to go to college, you definitely want to make sure you meet with the disability services at the college your child's going to or visiting. Because I've had, when I was visiting colleges, I made sure that I went and visited with the disabilities person to be like, okay, what do you offer? How can I succeed? Like, what services do you have? You know, there's a lot of testing or requirements. Like, there's testing rooms, and like I said, at least for my college, Mount Vernon Nazarene, all the professors were pretty accommodating for that. So they understand. They want you to succeed. They don't want you to fail. I mean, to be fair, if you fail, it looks bad on them. That's a lot of the college professors' mentality that I had when I was in college. And I'm very thankful that all my professors were great when it comes to dealing with the tests and all that stuff. You might have other services depending on what your services are. You know, everybody's different, so that's why it's important to have a meeting with the college disabilities leader, the disabilities coordinator, and be like, what services can I get? You know, and just explain your situation, and then they'll tell you what services you can get and qualify for. And I mean, I think that's it. So to recap, make sure you go into a school, whether it's a college, a preschool, elementary, whatever school district. Make sure that they got a great autistic program. And if they don't, you know, you could find a way to homeschool or find another school district that does specialize in autism, because that will really set your child behind. And it could lead them to bullying too, or it could lead to bullying basically. Kids could bully the person, and I know you wouldn't want that, and I wouldn't want that either. So it's definitely would be awesome to go into a school district that accepts autism, and it's just a common thing where even the non-autistic kids understand of autism and they accept autistic people as well. And next thing is make sure there's speech services. This is especially important. I was able to learn a bunch of social skills because of those classes. I had those classes from the first day I got into the school district to the last day. So yeah, it was pretty good. Very good services. Can't complain about that whatsoever. And then thirdly, get an IEP, which is an individual education plan. That you could take that throughout college. And I forgot to say something. College, it's the student's responsibility to meet with the disabilities person. So, if they have questions, go to the disabilities person. But basically, through preschool to high school, the IEP meetings will be working with your parents. And so that's kind of the thing that's a little bit different from college and high school. College, it's all on the kid. It's all on your kid to be independent. And basically, elementary through high school, it's all on the parent. That's kind of how this all works. But I'm sure you know that already. But yeah, I just want to make sure you get an IEP service. And then lastly, if you're going to college, find a college that treats people with autism well, has a good program, and then and just make sure that your college has the services you need to succeed. And I think I'll end it with that. I appreciate you watching to the end of my video, and I just wanted to let you know that I have a challenge coming up. The deadline is April 1st for that challenge. I said on New Year's Day that I'm having a mystery series, and I'm planning a mystery series in the middle of April. And I said April 1st. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I will reveal what the mystery series is on April 1st. But if not, you'll wait a couple more weeks for me to reveal the mystery series. And my goal is to try to educate people, autistic parents, autistic people, autistic children, whoever it is, or just anybody in general that wants to listen to an autistic person talk about autism. That's the whole purpose I'm trying to spread positivity in the world. That's why I have a YouTube channel. Ben Has Autism YouTube channel. That's why I started this channel, is just so I can share my life with you guys. And I hope you appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and share all my content. Turn on your YouTube notifications. And I really appreciate you for sticking to the end of my video. And I'll see you in the next video.